Welcome to What's the Deal with Sam? Starring Sam Lilly. Join Sam as he discusses a wide variety of topics.
Bangman.
Now let's start the show.
Thank you. Hey, what's the deal with remaking Pokemon games? Alright. There's a little spoiler for you right here. This is going to be a fucking ranty episode. It's not going to be all that funny. But whatever. I wanted to do it, so fuck you. Alright, so here's what's going on here. And I'll try to run through the line for you in case you're not up to speed. But you probably are if you're watching this. Or maybe not. You know, I don't know. I just don't know. That's why I'm going to do it. Because I don't know. And the thing is, okay, so Pokemon. The first games, you had Red, Blue, and Yellow on the Game Boy. And then you had Gold, Crystal, and Silver on the Game Boy Color. And then you had Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald on the Game Boy Advance. Now, up until this point, it's fine because, you know, you get the Game Boy games, then the other ones came out on Game Boy Color, you can still play both. Then the other ones came out on Game Boy Advance, you can play all three with the same system. So the backwards compatibility, it was fine. And also, they ended up remaking Red, Blue, and Yellow, which probably didn't seem all that necessary at the time since you could still play them. I mean, not Red and Green, I guess. They just remade first gen. And they did Fire Red and Leaf Green, and they put that on the Game Boy Advance. Now, that one you could say maybe isn't that necessary since you still have the backwards compatibility to play the others, but I can kind of see that a little more justified because the other ones were kind of glitchy. They had some oddities in them as far as some of the types went and how that worked. And because of these glitches and the oddities, I can definitely understand remaking it because if not by the second gen, at least by Gen 3, they had it pretty much down to, you know, they were really standardizing it and they were making it a lot better and there weren't as many glitches going on. By Gen 3, it was all pretty good. And so at least I get that sort of, and it's you know, they're good remakes, they're fine, especially if you don't have the originals. And it makes more sense when the Nintendo DS came out, because when that came out, that of course plays DS games, but it also plays Game Boy Advance games. However, it cannot play Game Boy Color or Game Boy games. So now you have first gen and third gen still available. Plus, they came out with Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, Black and White, and then I believe Black, White, and Black 2 are all on the DS. I could be wrong, I'm a little fuzzy there, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works, and that was the order of them, I think. So you can play all of those plus that, and you can play first gen and third gen with the Game Boy Advance capabilities. However, you couldn't play second gen. So what they did was they remade that. They did Soul Silver and Heart Gold for the DS. So now you can play, you know, all the generations, whatever. For there's 3, 4, 5, like 3, like 5 or 6 or something like that. I don't know. However many generations. I don't know if Black, White, and Black and White, and then Black and White 2. I don't know if those count as a different generation or not, or generation means a new game, or a new time era, or a new console. I don't know exactly how they're going to classify them. I think it's just by each successive group of games, it's a different generation. So I think it's like 6 then, because they had 3 Diamond. That's it. Yeah, I'm going to say 6. Could be wrong, whatever. Don't fucking crucify me. I haven't followed it that much since I don't have a DS. The last handheld I've had is a Game Boy Advance. Don't fuck me. Alright, and, like there is any chance of anyone doing that anyway. But then to see, it's you can still play all of them, and it was fine. But then they have this thing coming up with the 3DS. Now, the 3DS came along, and then you have, you know, X and Y are out, and, then you can still play your DS games on it. So you still have, you know, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Black and White, and then Black 2 and White 2. All those you can still play. But you can't play the Game Boy Advance games on there or anything, so the first and third gen are now gone. Well, they've announced that they're remaking Ruby and Sapphire. It's like, I think it's like Alpha Ruby and Omega Sapphire, or something like that. they're going to be remaking those for the 3DS. And again, I guess, you're going to add some improvements and stuff, and it's a little okay, I guess. Basically, the idea is that you can still keep playing all these Pokemon games on the same system. But then it comes to this thing of, that's a lot of Pokemon games going to be coming out, I think, if this keeps up, this trend. And, you see, then it brings up the big question, are they going to remake the first gen again for this because it's not available on these? Or is that available, like, on their 3DS shop, so you can buy as like a digital download? Are they going to start doing that with the older games? And if they do that, do they have to keep remaking them? But my real question of this is, are they going to start remaking the first gen again? Does it need another remake? And if so, why? What justifies that exactly? And then you have to really ask yourself, the very big question here is, where do you draw the line? When are they going to stop? Because if they continue to do this and keep remaking games so you can play all of them on the same system like that, if they try to keep remaking them, all of a sudden you're starting to come out with multiple Pokemon games a year. And, I mean, it's a little soon to start kind of speculating that, but it's something to think about, isn't it? I mean, you start releasing that and re-releasing them every time they do a new console. They're going to have to keep remaking games that, you can no longer do on, a handheld. You have to keep remaking those so that, you can keep up and play all your Pokemon games, all the generations, in some sort of iteration on that system. And it gets to the point where you're going to have so many coming out at a time that it's really just going to flood the market, and I think it's going to do kind of like a Guitar Hero Rock Band kind of thing, where this type of game is just oversaturating the market, and people are just not going to want to buy it anymore, and it's going to be sick of looking at it. I don't know necessarily that that's going to happen, if it's going to die out like that, or if it's going to really, become kind of a kind of thing about it, but I really think that that's kind of where we're headed with that. And that's why I'm wondering, why do they have to keep remaking them? Why can't they just make new ones instead and say these old ones are done? Maybe make them available now that they have that digital download stuff. Just make those older ones available on the shop, then you don't have to keep remaking them. And, that way it's, I don't know. And it's not saying that remaking them is necessarily a bad thing. I just think it's kind of a weird, it's a semi-lazy thing. Sort of, everything's already there, they just have to upscale it and change. There's still a lot of stuff to do, but I think it's just a little ridiculous that, we have to keep remaking the Pokemon games. Like, is there gonna be, and at this point, I'm just waiting for that. I'm just waiting to see if they're gonna remake first gen again, because if they do, that's gonna probably start a really, iffy trend going on. There's gonna be a lot of Pokemon games coming out at the time, and eventually it's just gonna be like, here's a new system, and they won't even have to make a new one. They can just remake all the old ones again. It's like, where do you draw the line? And I don't know. I think the line should probably be drawn where it is already, I suppose, where you only really need one remake of each generation, especially at this point, with the way, like I said, digital downloads go. So what's the deal with continually remaking Pokemon games? It's like HD remakes with the ground. So I hope you like my nerdy fucking ass rant, boring bullshit fuck.
What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal with Sam? What's the deal with Sam?
What are there, like 500 Pokemon now? I don't know, 600? I don't fucking know. Isn't there a lot? Do they keep them all in the same games? I don't fucking. They keep making new ones or not? I don't even fucking know at this point. I kind of fell off. Yeah. I don't know. They just keep making more shit, and I still think Ditto's the fucking stupidest. I mean, fucking just a pink blob. He's a pink blob that just copies every other Pokemon. It's not really, doesn't take a lot of thought, It's, fuck. Sometimes this series just pisses me off, man. I don't know. Dude, you guys buying this? You believing that I actually don't know it's a recording? Because I I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm just doing this and kind of looking at the camera. Tell your friends I'm funny.